San Diegans accomplish great things every day. We care about our neighbors and our community. We are proud of our diversity. We are resilient. We hold our leaders accountable. We live in one of the most dynamic cities in America, the San Diego Union Tribune, telling San Diego's story for more than 150 years.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the San Diego Festival of Books. I'm Angela Narciso Torres, author of What Happens Is Neither, a poetry collection published by Four Way Books in the spring of this year. It's my second full-length poetry collection. At its core, this book is an homage to my parents, whom I lost 2 years ago, my mother to Alzheimer's and my father to cancer a week later. The book is part elegy and part meditation on loss, which in a sense is the essential condition of being human. So looking through various lenses of mother, immigrant daughter, writer, and other roles, these poems explore the indomitability of the human spirit and the relentless search for beauty and meaning in the midst of profound change and loss. Any loss forces you to look back, to remember, and to record. And this first poem is a remembrance of my mother, who was a competent physician, a pianist, a wonderful cook, and a captivating storyteller. I wrote this poem to record everything I could as dementia began to erode her memories. This is Sundowning from my mother, Carmen. The sweetest meat clings to the bone, my mother says, knifing her steak. Carmen, silver spade on my tongue. Mahjong nights, her mother and father gone, she cried herself to sleep, blamed in the morning for her mother's losing hand. Unlucky tears. The sweetest meat, she begins at dinner, tearing off a drumstick. What will she recall by morning? Named for Our Lady of Mount Carmel, she pinned brown scapulars under our shirts. Wet stamps that cleaved to our backs. Carmen, prayer on the breath. Amid potted ferns, she works a jigsaw puzzle. Bizet on the radio. Unable to sleep, she made me lie next to her. My brothers clambered the banyan trees. My legs twitched. A broken clock. Her kisses are guava and rust. She sings kundimans her mother sang, Sampaguita, dahil sa'yo, saan ka man. Sunday morning, puzzle pieces strewn on yesterday's news, Maria Callas on the phonograph, Carmen. Citrine fire. When she plays the piano, the lovebirds fall silent. Alabaster eggs tremble in glass bowls. Afternoons, she woke with an urge to bite the brown loaf of my arm. The marks on my flesh faded by sundown. The sweetest meat clings, she insists, peels a mango. Amber rivers trace her elbows. A trail of L'air du Temps wafts in her wake. I follow it to her room, dab the scent on my wrists and throat. Evenings, she sang kundimans, Hating Gabi, Nasaan ka, Irog? Carmen, song of the mangosteen moon. Before you go, I want to give you something. She hands me a thimble painted with a map of Cuba. We've never been to Cuba. In the dream, a sister pours rosary beads into her cupped hands. Upon waking, a dead wasp curled in her palm. So while the book is mostly about loss and of memory of loved ones and of time, it is also about reinventing the self and rediscovering delight after loss. This poem is Self-Portrait as Revision. I am the storm-torn palm frond draped on the balcony wall. I am the cumin in the soup stirring the lentils' sleep. I am the olive's skeletal pit, the cat paw, the thistle spear. The clay in the kiln cast into a small flask to hold centuries of musk. For weeks I do not sing, though I gush, an underground rill carving blindly to the sea. I succumb to thunder, the urchin's sting, the softness of moss. This is my prayer. I am driftwood, parched in white heat, soaked in January rain. A seashell pressed to its pale grave. The wind rises, rewriting the hymnals of dunes. I am hurricaned, worn smooth again. This next poem is about the superstitions I was raised with as a child, and it pointed to the other world beyond that which we know. And these are some beliefs that my family lore opened up for me. If you go to bed hungry. If you go to bed hungry, your soul will get up and steal cold rice from the pot. Stop playing with fire before the moon rises, or you'll pee in your sleep. Sweeping the floor after dark sweeps wealth and good fortune out the door. Fork dropped, a gentleman will visit. Spoon, a bashful lady. Bathing after you've cooked over a hot stove makes the veins swell. For safe passage to the guest who leaves mid-meal, turn your plate. The adage goes, coffee stunts growth. 12 grapes on New Year's, the opposite. Advice from the learned, book under your pillow. Never step on, never drop. Every rice grain that remains on your plate, you'll meet again on the footpath to heaven. You'll have to stoop to pick up each one. The next poem is not from my book, it's a newer work. One of the sources of love that has kept me afloat through the countless griefs of the past year is my dog, who has taught me so much about what human love can be. It's a love poem disguised as a dog poem. It's called Amores Perros. Sometimes I love you the way my dog loves her all-beef chew bone, worrying the knuckled corners from every angle, mandibles working like pistons. Her eyes glaze over with a faraway look that says she won't quit until she reaches the soft marrow. Her paws prop the bone upright. It slips. She can't clutch it tight enough, bite hard enough. A dog's paws weren't meant for gripping. And sometimes I love you the way my dog brushes her flank nonchalant against my legs, then flops on the floor beside me while I read or watch TV. Her heft warms. One of us is hungry. The other needs to pee, but we sit, content as wildflowers. Minutes pass, hours. For my last poem, I'll read the title poem of the book, What Happens Is Neither. So my dad took care of my mother until her death, and then he passed 11 days later, as much from cancer as from a broken heart. When she was well into the late stages of her dementia, Dad found that the best way to communicate with her was through music, through his violin. And it became a talisman for me of how music, especially how poetry, can transcend language, especially when our usual words fail. What happens is neither the end nor the beginning. Yet we're wired to look for signs. Consider the peonies. One makes a perfect bud after months of nothing. Another's leaves are ringed with black rot. How can I not think end? How can I not say beginning? Leaves fall when days shorten because a tree must reduce to its tough parts. Twig, branch, bark. My mother sleeps away the daylight. She nods off while chewing a spoonful of fish and rice, her head a peony gone to seed. Father calls to say she doesn't recognize him. Turning to him, she cried out, certain a stranger was in her bed. He played his violin till she slept, a leaf in late fall curling into itself. In autumn, chlorophyll disappears, canceling green from leaves so yellow and magenta can blaze. In my mirror, I see her, the smile that favors a cheek, eyes slanting in the shape of small fish we eat for breakfast. Trees know best the now of things. What goes on has been going on for centuries. Washing dishes, I rest a foot on my standing leg. A fork clangs on the tile. I rinse a cracked cup. I try not to think of endings. Thank you so much for listening and for being here today. I'd like to also thank all the indie booksellers who are helping to promote, and you can purchase our books through the website that appears on your screen below my face. And again, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the festival.
Headlines are everywhere, all day. But for the complete story, count on NBC7 to keep you up to date.
Taking a look at what happens for you folks on the Inland Valley.
And as stories change, our commitment is constant. NBC7 is coverage you count on.
Hello, I'm Jose Cruz. I'm the CEO for the San Diego Council on Literacy. We work with a network of 29 youth, adult, and family literacy programs that annually serve 160,000 residents of all ages at no cost. Our mission is to unite the community to support literacy. It's an exciting year for us. It's our 35th anniversary. It's also the 5th anniversary of the San Diego Union Tribune Festival of Books. The San Diego Council on Literacy is a beneficiary of this event. So when you participate, you support literacy, especially through the author panels. And just in general. So when you participate in this event, you also make it possible for another person, a child or an adult, to improve their reading and writing skills so they can read the books that you read. We have our favorite event activities. We like the Storytime Hour, and you probably have your favorites too. So we hope that you'll join us at the San Diego Union Tribune Festival of Books and learn more too about the work of the San Diego Council on Literacy by going to literacysandiego.org. Thank you.